Great. Okay, all right. Well, welcome everyone to our July council pre-meeting. Starting a little early this time to go over the mid-year finances and the stated budget.
That's just my
table thing. There you go.
I'd like to be able to tell you that there are some issues we need to work on and clear up, but everything looks really good. That's my report. On behalf of. No, seriously, I mean, financially, things look very good. Zach has held off on, a lot of our capital purchases until money rolls in and our real estate money is starting to come in, and I mean, our financials just really good this year.
Yeah, like, for vehicles and any big equipment, I try not to spend anything until June, July, so that we start having tax base come in, instead of us kind of depleting ourselves early in the year and scrambling.
And that's kind of like almost like an accrual thing, but we're not doing accruals in county anymore, is that right?
We are doing accrual.
Okay, it was, he's treating it like cash though, if it's not,
We, from a cash flow standpoint, we want to make sure we had the cash.
Yeah.
And I actually, just finished some grunt work today on the cash flow analysis of the last, 4 years so that we can do some more investing. We're looking at, CDs and, a different, type of investment with Pliget to increase our revenue. I want to make sure I know when we need the money. Because the money we're getting right now is the money that has to hold us over until next May.
so turning it around was just fiscal management? Is that what it was?
There's taxes.
Yeah.
Helps a lot.
Mhm.
We did what needed to be done. It's obvious now we have money to start funding our capital program.
Mhm.
And, again, we're in very solid financial shape.
Yeah, we haven't had like any major budget busters or a major breakdown or something that you can't account for, so far.
Yeah, and instead, we've actually had some money we didn't expect, like
Yeah.
another $30,000 this year from MTSA for
Yeah.
Deerfield Estates.
And money that was.
Yeah, we just got an email from PennDOT that we're getting $44,000 in additional funding for severe weather over the winter, so.
If they have the opportunity to give us more, they don't have to, based on weather conditions, since we had such severe weather. They have the ability to give you more if they decide to do something again.
And that usually goes for like paying for those folks to be clearing the ice and snow and the salt.
Yep.
Yeah, that's for us clearing PennDOT roads.
Yeah. But we're talking about, there's not a stipulation on this, right? Like your regular, feels good, right, or general fund.
Correct. This is like the, we get $77,000 a year from PennDOT anyway for clearing their roads. And that's just general fund money. And this is another 44 in addition to that 77.
So we're just putting that general fund.
That's just general fund.
Necessarily earmarking it for salt or.
No, that's not earmarked for anything.
Okay.
We have plenty of money in, highway aid fund to pay for all of our salt this year, as well as all of our labor to clean.
So all the forecasting we did for the budget for last year, we're going to see the fruition of it.
Yes. Yeah, we can now start making long-term plans.
And other than a couple things that you mentioned, which were kind of operational, the rest is stuff that you expected,
Yeah.
the way that the cash flow is.
Yeah, things are just tracking the way we thought.
Yeah.
That was gonna be my question. I'm certainly not an accountant, but just, my cursory knowledge of seeing balance sheets before it looked like the position now going forward, barring unforeseen, surprise, this truck broke down, or, this bridge walked out, or something like that.
Definitely.
And we're putting money aside for the large purchases that we promised to make going forward. Is that how it works?
We have to come up with a plan for that.
Yeah.
We didn't do
We didn't do that.
a 5-year capital plan as part of the budget last year, but we'll do one again this year now that we actually have funds to start putting aside for that.
Because like in an ideal world, and I've always kind of done it, was your general fund is your operation, right? And you want to have surplus. You'd have surplus every year to roll that into your capital reserve, you build it, right? So when you determine, our trucks, we would rotate one a year. Now that's $265,000, right? So we need to be having those funds available in order to make that purchase every year. We know what our expenses are gonna be for the fire department, our equipment and all the different things that we need. But we've kind of built in the budget this year now.
But major capital projects we do. In the past few years, we've been paying for them as we go, rather than establishing a capital reserve fund and paying for it out of that. So when something needs to be done in the park, we're paying for it out of the general fund. But now we have a chance to start establishing funds for future capital projects.
So I heard you invested funds on time, based on time, but you can actually get some.
It will actually be able to go out 30, 60, 90 days and have rolling investments.
That's really good.
And so that would be, you set aside X number of dollars and get a better return on
Yep.
that money.
Absolutely.
It's like my whole community, my capital reserve fund, I would file my capital purchase at the end of the year. And after that, I invest it all for the rest of the year until January when I go and spend from it again.
And is that just CDs or is that other?
Plickett has CDs in the, what's called a term account, which has $1 million minimum balance. But it has terms of 30, 60, 90, 120. So we'll probably I think we'll be able to put $1 million in term. And then the rest, they have a CD program, and we'll probably invest the rest in CDs with varying maturities. Right now, they're coming in about the same as far as the rate they're paying. Both a little over 4%.
And that way you can kind of vary the term too, so.
Yeah.
If you need something in 30 days, you don't have to wait for 2 months to get.
Exactly.
Okay.
Your fee for withdrawal. You give up your interest.
For CDs, you go up the interest.
That's what I'm
on them.
I'm pretty sure they'd be willing to waive that. In, the spirit of getting Franklin Park, more Franklin Park's revenue.
Oh, yeah,
They were very.
I
they were
talked to
very-
Plickett this week,
Okay.
but we don't want to invest in a 6-month CD that when we need the money in 3 months. It's just not.
The two pension, one-time, funding commitments that we did this year, this is all the help after.
This is not new pensions, this is just our operational budget.
I know, but we had to use money.
This is just-
right?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
That's what.
Yeah, we don't know yet what the MMO is like this year. They just reached out to us for information, so we'll
630s are.
hold on in the next couple of months. How much our MMO is gonna be, how much our general fund obligation.
When I saw the budget, and I saw this is 630s. When I saw the budget, stuff.
They might not.
Yeah.
Any questions?
I was just saying, if you guys had mentioned before, whether you'd heard from Jane or Kristen. So I just sent them a text just now,
Oh,
just saying like, in case you weren't aware, it was 6 days. But
Thank you.
I don't know if you guys discussed that before, so sort of asking. So it sounds like for this year, we're in a good spot, and I know there's more long-term planning going into it. But it's based on previous discussions and kind of what I'm seeing here, it's still gonna take some more work to get us on more solid footing moving forward.
Yes, I mean, that tax increase
It's not
will
like,
carry into
like,
future
okay, we're
years.
set,
No, this doesn't magically solve everything.
right,
We still have to be careful in how we address issues. We're still looking at low interest loans for the MS4 work, for example, and applying for grants wherever we can. So there's still a management aspect to that.
You have 3 that'll be submitted.
not to be a Debbie Downer, I mean, this is great, especially after the last conversations we've had the last 2 years, but just want to make sure we're all, and I'm sure you are, I have
Yeah,
no
no,
question that staff is, that we're mindful, like, this is not problem solved.
This
We're done,
gives us the
right?
chance to manage responsibly.
Yeah,
in the
to kind of
future.
claw our way
But
back.
we have to take advantage of actually do the management.
5 to 10 years from now would probably be feeling like we're in a pretty good spot, and it's not more or less, right?
Part of the budget preparation we'll do projections out to see where we think we're gonna go. We have no way of controlling inflation and those kinds of things, so best we can do is guesstimate where we'll be. It'll give us a good idea.
And with the lack of utilities that we have on the western side, moving to extended growth is very new. So we're looking for like count on the new property taxes, new or big start filing.
And whatever the school does, whatever the county does, it has very
Not us,
minimal
but yes,
effect on
yeah,
us, yeah. When they get their little property assessments going, their little program.
Yes, I didn't see any feedback from that meeting, which was July first.
The same night we had. it.
Yeah, I didn't see anything online.
I wonder if it was well attended.
So have you heard?
It was the most viewed Facebook post you guys did.
What do you think?
Did it reach 4 digits?
It had like 58,000 views.
Wow.
Whoa,
So.
whoa,
We didn't have 58,000 people.
Got shared like sometimes, yeah.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
Um, but yeah,
it went viral.
something like that. As much as local government goes viral.
Are we now currently posting Facebook and Instagram together?
We are.
Yeah, see, we made it, we did it. Yeah.
Just incremental improvement. That's all.
Yeah.
And in that same vein, back to the budget, it sounds like now we're maybe moving in a direction where the money is working for us a little bit more maybe than it has in the past. And I think
Absolutely.
based on kind of the small margins that we've been working on, little stuff like that is probably gonna start making a difference.
Yes.
Okay, great. That sounds good. Appreciate the forward thinking.
I have a question about golfers.
Yes.
And, I talked about this recently.
Yeah.
Absolutely, sorry, so the revenue doesn't any. Has it been negative?
Yes. Yeah, revenue, that's just an accounting.
Okay, that's.
Liabilities and revenue are negatives.
Okay, right.
Yes. Now,
Yeah, we're not.
Well, I'm sorry, I missed the question.
It shows it's a negative.
revenue is a negative, but that's just the way in accounting, you recognize revenue as a negative. Liabilities are negatives.
In the fund balance.
So that when you add up, you go down and add up assets, liabilities, fund balance, revenues, and expenditures, it'll come to a zero. That's true. True in this case.
Yeah, so like revenue, we're gonna be 18,000. Expenses, 240.
Oh, yeah, okay, so the second column, yep.
Are you looking on the golf course?
Yeah, it's,
Okay,
Yeah, when I was hired, the golf course owed the general fund money, had to borrow money to pay payroll.
Oh,
That's how far the golf course has come in just a short time. For whatever reason, 2020 with the pandemic, that actually turned things for the golf course.
And it's.
People decided to golf.
They stay in.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I think that way to figure my thought.
It's an easy way to social distance and that's it.
Yes.
That and pickleball.
Yeah.
thank you. Any other questions or,
no, it was fine.
thanks, appreciate it.
Yeah, we just.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, so, all business done, new business.
Going back to be here at 45, so.
It's 1 minute.
Yeah, get close, but, see.
What about Zach's discussion items? We could do that.
I was on vacation last week, so I don't have a whole lot to talk about.
We could discuss that.
I have a
How was
question
that?
before you get back,
Yes.
other than about your vacation. So I know you told us last time that you were gonna add 2 items to the agenda, and we talked about sidewalk projects and the grant.
Yes.
Can you explain that to me again, though? So the one on Rochester across from Old Orchard, you're now applying for a separate grant for that,
Right.
not rolled into
We,
the.
we can't guarantee that we're gonna be funded, right? So whenever there's priority projects, I kind of, shotgun approach it, you kind of throw them out everywhere
I see.
and try to get what you can get, right? And so we have the county, the GETPS grant, Gaming Economic Tourism Development Grant, where they like to give out around $100,000. We need 80,000 to finalize that crosswalk. Low hanging fruit, we're gonna apply to that. And then for the active transportation, a little bit bigger grant with more opportunities, right? It has to be over $100,000. So we were gonna apply for that. And so we packaged it with 2 sidewalk connections as well, to get us over the $100,000 threshold.
Now, you do grants all the time, so you'll know the answer to this. Let's say we have the bizarre situation where everybody goes, yeah, you have the money.
Yeah.
Now you have to tell somebody, thanks, but no thanks. How does that impact?
All you do is just reach out and say, hey, if we were funded by another source, thank you so much, please consider us. Sure.
Okay,
We just don't sign a grant agreement and they allocate the money elsewhere.
okay.
That was the only question I had.
Not to go down the rabbit hole here, but if that would happen with somebody else, say somebody else applying for the, either for grants, if I had to say, sorry, you were funding this other way, but that perhaps open that and odds and get something working out.
And if they reach out, and they're the ultimate deciders, so, if something were to come up, then possibly. I just heard back from the LSA grant department last year. I made it through the first round of review, so hopefully there's something positive, around November, December.
Sounds good. Okay.
That's
Just
done.
the agenda, Max. Civil family division. Assessment tools. Boring. All right.
Yeah.
In terms of, additions to the agenda, you can see in motion 14 is the easement encroachment agreement discussed previously, nearly as impactful as the fireplace and wall and everything else, the foot rail wood fence. So, we're still working on the ordinance updates to streamline this process, but as that so last time, this person is chomping at the bit, ready to go and willing to pay. In terms of everything else, eye drops are just a little blurry. Read them. Yeah. It's what it is.
Yeah, any questions on the agenda? Let's see. The insurance.
No, I'm still waiting on Old Orchard, I'm sorry, not Old Orchards, on Oakley Lane. The HOA signed the MOU agreement, trying to contact the property owners to get them to sign off as well. Having a hard time contacting them. We only had an email address previously. If anyone has their information, that'd be great. Please pass it along. You do. Okay, so I'm just trying to hunt them down for signatures. It'll be on the next agenda for us to approve if they sign off.
Great, sounds good. It does.
Yep, real fast.
Yeah, go for it, council there. Maybe first. Also. Yeah, first.
Just that we were approached by Donna for putting together a basket as council and mayor for the adult outing. So we were able to get that together, actually brought it tonight, so we are all set for that, and, where the golf outing goes well, and it's a lot of money to fund a lot of scholarships for students, so. All I have tonight. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm with.
So last meeting, we talked a little bit about some topics that might be of interest to talk about when we possibly visit the senior high school. And I came up with a small list, but I'm definitely open to more ideas because, I mean, I'm not sure like everything that people want to hear about, but yeah, I think whenever I finish this list, I'm just gonna keep going over to this summer, and then hopefully we need to get that to you soon, and then also maybe finalize a date, and then whenever you all have their fall schedules or whoever wants to come, because I mean, I'm sure that not everybody is planning to come. But yeah, that's fine.
You have to visit to an high school?
This is, it's not a service box, it's.
I was thinking during the lunch periods, that way, up at the senior high school, so that way we could talk about, definitely, voting, things like that, but also, yeah, we have 3 lunch periods that are from, 10:45 or like 10:33 to 12:43. So around that should be during your work. So whenever anybody is, or if like maybe 2 or 3 people are able to come on any day, and like I was thinking November or December, maybe September also. But yeah, that's all I have. Thank you so far.
Can you give us a couple of your ideas? Just because we have time to kill.
So,
And they're getting their topics like,
yeah, and then I do need, I have like a couple of things, but I would definitely be open to hearing more. So first is the data centers and the ordinance and the updates. So who it affects, what we've decided, and then how we're really proactive about it, because I know that, and that was a huge thing that we emphasized at our meetings, that we're proactive, not reactive, which I think is something that we would love to hear about. And then definitely publicize the scholarship opportunity that we have for the high school residents. I know that we do that a lot, but I think like we could do that even more at the lunch. And then also the junior council person position, talk about that a little bit more. And then also what the EAC does, I think that's pretty interesting personally, and I know a lot of people that might also find that interesting what all of the boards do, which goes hand in hand with like what the planning commission does. So what does the planning commission do would be something interesting. Who are all the people on council and what do they do? The requirements to be a part of council, and then what are the different boards and commissions? How can the youth get involved, or how can we positively impact our community? The cleanup events or other volunteer programs that we might have, the Snow Angel program, which I thought was really interesting, because I know that, well, I only recently found out about it, but I know that, if this was in November, December, right around the time that that would be useful, I'm sure a lot of people would, sign up for that. And then maybe a little bit on voting, and then information about how to come to the meetings, when the committee meetings are, the first and third Wednesday of the times. Obviously, you know, if they wanted to attend, the regular meetings or the free meetings, and then the work session. That's really all.
one of them.
But I wanted to do like specific topics or like specific things that we talk about in each of the meetings, but I couldn't think of anything more specific than the data centers. So. Maybe
You know, maybe they'd be interested in the MS4 program and what's going on with that, because it seems like seems to be very complex and hard to explain to people outside of who's had to like administer it, and it's very unusual.
environmental consent.
Yeah.
When we have that parks plot plan going on now, and that's, I know something that young people
Yes.
do at the parks, they might be interested in that.
It is, it's a bit tough.
too. I mean,
MS4,
and I think
I wouldn't call it
was
yeah.
a group that we maybe don't always get opinions from. There are a lot of kids and young adults who use those facilities, and, you know, think that there's something they'd like to see that we're not thinking about, so I think it'd be a great opportunity for that.
I was gonna mention stormwater, might be one.
Mhm.
Stormwater. Yeah, so last year was the apes,
Oh, yeah,
AP environmental science,
like last year, like the 2025.
yeah, the teacher had they care about stormwater, so. They had a PowerPoint deck. So they found the state site, where just 3 sections, so it's only multi sections.
Oh,
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, I classified it as stormwater, not MS4.
Yeah.
But we talked about like flooding, erosion, that sort of stuff.
Did you go for Miss Bosch?
She wanted a realtor on the side. I can't remember.
Well, I had this resume and I didn't
What
see
is it?
you, so. well,
This might have been really. I think so even there. One thing here somewhere.
mm, Oh, I know that once, you mentioned like a survey that we wanted to talk about, like, support. Is that something that's still going?
It's open until August 31st, right? The parks survey. And there'll be more opportunity as we go through this process for people to give input and feedback, so that won't be, by the time we get to November, December, that particular survey will be closed, but there'll be other opportunities for people to weigh in.
So if we want to meet you, like a student at the school, shall we first educate them about how we are gonna run this business on this local government? So, I mean, just, when we show up, right, and we first need to give them some kind of background information, right? What we are doing, why we're sitting here and talk about something, right?
Yeah, I
If
don't,
this guy were to school, they would have just let us have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
I do think that's a good idea, like starting really broad, like what the borough does, because there's so much that I'm sure people don't even know about that borough does, and then like probably get more specific into things that people might be interested in, and then maybe just like letting people ask questions, or kind of like what you mentioned, having them talk about what they'd like to see in the community.
So we kind of like start with something like kind of interesting, like for example, and even you have a, you know, single family house or something, but you cannot raise the chicken because you need to have like 1.5 or 2 acres of the land.
We're down to 2 acres.
Yeah, just something like interesting because and if you talk about something like a little bit like more deep and the student may lose interest in, because to be honest, and I don't think that the student will be interested in the stormy water or something.
They were getting questions for less and less. As a day went on.
Interesting, they're all talking about it.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
restrictions
yeah.
on- there's restrictions on how they use the land that they buy. And that the actual local government puts those restrictions on how they use the land. And the example was the chickens. And there's other types of things too.
Another thing is about hunting, and whether they have any idea, just a senior high school student and they can become a hunter, right? To hunt the deer or something like this, more interesting, and they can get involved.
Yeah.
Because if, to be honest, if we only talk about like what we are doing, like on the agenda, most of the time, and they may not be that interested. At least, and I believe that they look for something like more, I would say, funny or something. Just ask them like, and we can talk to them about like whether they have a good idea and they can persuade their parents, to hunt the deer and and to make a group and and to go to park or something like to help the community,
I would be surprised if most of them weren't aware of how many different parks are in Franklin and where they are. Something as easy as
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's.
Like they're even though, start the year, but I think that,
So we all
Start.
yeah, because people,
Yeah, we want to have people and background like in Blueberry Park Road. So right now and we only have and other parks and don't have this. Just something like that because and like pickleball is become more and more popular. And I know that a lot of young people, students, they are playing like pickleball. And tell them like later if we have more money and we can put more like more place to play like pickleball.
Especially if there's something that we don't currently have, that, vast majority of that demographic, or really anybody for that matter, would like to see. That's always good feedback to have, and gives me an opportunity in the future to make that addition to one or more of our parks.
Another thing I'm thinking like would end since that the people living that the place complain about the noise, right, from the highway.
Yeah.
Maybe we can ask the student whether they have interest in playing the tree along the highway, or something like that.
Plant trees in general.
Is there anything I need to do in terms of reaching out to our principal? I have an email drafted, he's brilliant, it's the one at the senior school, so, they'd obviously be more than happy to have us there, but I think just, in terms of what days, it's just what we figure out and then find out. So, I don't really know the organized
Teacher that wants to sponsor, usually you can put a teacher that sponsors it and grabs a room, it's gonna be easy, but I just don't know, how that works.
I think the school schedule would be probably the most restrictive, so I would start with that.
Yeah,
Ask them about that. Yeah, check with the principal and see what they prefer.
Yeah, for the teacher, they usually will work with the test directly.
Mhm.
And that teacher is passionate able. Right?
Yeah, okay, I did,
Yeah, any functioning, so.
okay, I might just. Ask the environment. That's all.
I'm in the location teacher.
Oh,
Where
it's up to.
Just find out the location to it, what's all able to do. And depending on the time.
Yeah.
Or days are good for you on the location too. Like open facility, like it's gymnasium, auditorium.
The lunch, since everybody's gonna be there, because I doubt that it's easy to, organize like disrupting school or class schedules for us to go to, a presentation, because usually we have to do an activity schedule, which they prepare ahead of time and we sync that up with the intermediate high school. So,
Yeah, that's probably a question for the school.
yeah. So. Sure.
Good. Yeah, anything else?
Are the next steps just should I email the principal and ask like, or email a teacher and see if they're willing to sponsor it and then help organize this or?
Yeah,
I think that makes sense.
yeah, if you want to, like, 2 years out. If you have any questions. Awesome. Okay, thank you. Mayor, we're just going around. You have anything?
I will be attending the Pennsylvania State Mayor's Conference starting tomorrow. I'll be driving out to Bethlehem. And participating for a couple days, and I'm looking forward to it. Meeting some people and just gathering information and looking forward to it. So I'll be out there tomorrow through Sunday. Extend an invitation for Lieutenant to speak. We have a situation going on in the community with some fraud issues. Because of its, we can't speak,
Yeah, to
Yeah.
touch on what the mayor's speaking about, let's start off by encouraging anybody who has elderly parents or friends or neighbors that you're concerned about on the 25th. At the fire hall, the FBI along with us are sponsoring will basically be like a fraud awareness. I believe Kathy will be there. She's taking elderly family members there. It's pretty rampant throughout the borough. And it's not like you think, where it's naive people. Some people are falling prey, are pretty savvy, professional, not as old as you would think they are. And the fraudsters are getting more and more advanced, and they're very convincing. We really can't talk in great detail about a current case that's going on, but an individual had made repeated payments to somebody that they thought were legitimate, And, you know, Detective Blakely, working in conjunction with his contacts through the FBI, were able to, you know, make an arrest, make an arrest on somebody who had come out. And, you know, hopefully this will lead to something else that, you know, we can share with you guys. But, you know, fraud, it's more than just simply telling everybody, you know, hang up on the unknown phone numbers, don't pay with gift cards. They are very, very convincing. They're able to spoof numbers and represent themselves as you know, whoever. So I would encourage everybody to bring somebody to that, and it is on our Facebook page. If you want to go there for more information, you can reach out to me, or Kathy knows exactly where I think she's going to be going. So,
Absolutely.
yep. Thank you, Mary.
We share that.
Thank you.
Yep. Already did. So I know that the chief circulated that, and I am gonna pass along to my HOA. So we're trying to get the word out there. Great, that would be good, because it is next to speeding complaints,
Yes,
probably one of our number one complaints that we receive.
thank you.
You want?
That's all I have.
I do not have anything.
I have a, thank you for the police. We had a lost doggy last week, and Mayor knows about this, that walking through our neighborhood, looked kind of scared and definitely lost. And so I reached out to our police, and they sent Officer Jake, who arrived with a lot of enthusiasm to go get the dog, because it took a lot, because the dog just led him on a merry chase through the different yards, and then eventually the dog apparently led him back home, where he met the owner of the dog, and the dog was safely home. But it spent a couple, 3 hours. Not, he didn't have all 3 hours, but the dog was wandering for at least 3 hours back. So, yeah. So we
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
was
our
great.
guys are animal lovers and have
Yeah.
adopted many dogs. I think Jake actually adopted a rabbit that was a stray that we couldn't find anyone. So, yeah, thank you. I'll let him know.
Yeah, you should. Everybody was happy. And so I'm sure the dog that returned home was happy too. So, and then I guess I have a comment and question. The comments I saw, Cranberry was advertising, I think it was last week, saying that they were rebranded. What they were really doing is they were doing like, I think, a week-long like activity thing from Cranberry Township. And it looked like they had created a foundation, and the foundation was working hand in hand with Cranberry Township. I assume foundation was like something for raising money for different things for Cranberry Township. So my question is, Max, what do you know what they're doing, or is that something? Okay.
I haven't seen anything, but
Okay.
certainly,
All right.
and there are municipalities that have the 501c3s or
Yeah.
some form,
Mhm.
school districts, you know, as well.
Very early at the foundation.
Okay.
So it's not, yeah.
So another way to raise money for certain things that the township wants to do for the community, but not.
Can be, I don't know of any that are super successful. I mean, it seems like they kind of
Mhm.
get started and have been interest, but I
Or
like
projects.
yeah.
Like, we're trying to do X, Y, and Z, and, you know, it's an for this foundation.
So it just puts another layer on, like I said, a golf scholarship, and it doesn't really need a foundation to run, it's been running fun without, and putting that would just been another layer.
Yeah.
And another reporting of more compliance, a whole bunch of stuff that has to happen with the 501c3 stuff.
And people can donate money to local governments.
Yeah.
As much as you want.
Without the foundation.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Some
Well, that's what we need to
level,
digitize on our new Facebook.
Take it. Send you a
Adopt,
letter, we take donations of land.
adopt a street. Let's get that street paved early, guys.
The Domino's did the pothole filling services. They put their ad on top of it.
Yeah.
Hey,
Max,
That would-
can you think of an example where that has been successful? I know there's like a historical foundation, stuff like that, but just a foundation to kind of go hand in hand with the municipality.
not off the top of my head.
It's not really a feel good way to donate money. I mean,
Most donations I've had in the past been like budgets that sit in place.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
about something, you know, they go to the park all the time, they want to
yeah,
see something, you want to do a playground or something. Yeah, yeah.
Or they donate like an old house or piece of property to the Yeah,
Observe.
yeah,
But, so what is, saying the rebranding,
yeah, that's what they called it. It's very.
so that's part of
We're
it,
rebranding
or
Premier,
you're
we're
like
rebranding the
their,
foundation.
I feel like it had to do with the foundation. So they were working hand in hand with with Cranberry Township for their little, festivities for the community.
you know,
So, yeah. Yeah,
People research.
Yeah, we can.
it really caught my eye because it's used the word brand. Like something.
yeah, that's where I thought you were going, is
Yeah.
it's trademark the primary.
Because I did all, you know, I did all.
I
that
know.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have anything, see, the executive session.
Activities I missed, the trash contract or the bids are currently out. We'll have something for you guys to review at work session. Should have those back pretty soon. And then first meeting for the union contract is August, right? So our red lines are done. We're meeting with them, start working through the process.
Cool. And I'd be remiss if I didn't ask how we're doing with putting our little dots on our map for the cell tower project. Do you have any reports?
I do. So all the GIS stuff is done. I met with Sean earlier this week. They're still working through it. No easy way to do this, right? There's not like one zoning change that fixes all. So they're working through creative ways that make something happen.
Understood.
I should have something for our next work sessions. My plan was to have the land development meeting for us to work on this.
Okay. And then, the other thing was the data center. I just wanted to thought, we were gonna have planning commission take a look at the.
Okay.
And I think there's a transcript, so I think we can get a transcript right back.
I sent
Yeah.
the ordinances adopted.
Yeah.
And the transcript along to Marcy and Tim
Okay.
for the planning commission meeting.
Okay, great. That's great. So, we can,
Yeah.
review and revise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is for the comments from the.
Yeah.
And, just, you know, for there to be feedback, or you, this is a 30-day period, right?
No, that was one thing that newspaper report
Yeah.
got, not right, it just, our last step in the enactment process after enactment for a zoning or saldo amendment is to send the enacted version back to the county for their record keeping.
Yeah, it just goes into their.
Okay, so there's no like challenge.
No. Well,
Procedural.
not for that. Somebody could, but we did the optional notice as well to.
Yeah.
Clear that.
Yeah.
And it runs really 30 days from enactment, even though it says 30 days from the second advertisement. So,
So 30 days from that, this right. That's pretty good.
you can file a procedural validity challenge directly with the Court of Common Pleas to say in all of those steps, the notice, the personal notice, the posting of the property, planning commission comments, Allegheny County comments, 45 days before action, 30 days before the public hearing. One of those steps was missed and therefore it's void. You need to start.
Except that did not happen.
Yeah.
Did not happen and we've got the follow-up. So somebody can't do that.
Yeah.
I hope 20 years from now and say, oh, you missed one of those steps. So
Yeah,
that's what
ring
was
the bell.
happening.
Cool. So.
Well,
Oh,
Yeah,
just,
go ahead.
Zach reminded me with the collective bargaining agreement information, Alex Roan has been working on that. She had been taking over for John McCreary, who'd been a long time. I don't know, some may have worked with him before, as a longtime practitioner. He had moved to California where his son and grandkids are son stationed or so, and he was planning to, continue in an of council way, but the California bureaucracy of trying how to figure out how he was an employee back here in Pennsylvania was too much, so he threw up his hands and officially retired June 30th or so. So available for calls and checking in, but we wanted him to be sort of available to consult because he is a fount of knowledge, but there's too many forms to fill out and things for it.
make it so much easier.
Yeah.
That counts as.
The types of the Cranberry Township has a community festival for a week. They're rebranding the name of that festival.
That is a festival run by,
It's run by the foundation, Cranberry Foundation, which I don't know that it's managed by.
I would assume it's not.
I would assume it's not, yeah.
Well, that's the first, I think it's probably the first year of foundation.
It's been a, and it's been a first round.
hey.
Not the first team. Was it called something else before?
Yeah, the Cranberry Township Community Chests Community Days, now it's rebranded to Cranberry Summer Nights.
You know, chefs, that's lovely.
No, it's,
That's my other reference.
Like the coffers?
Yeah.
That's you guys get. Yes, chests.
Chests.
Anyway.
Okay.
Everyone-
Hey guys, talk, yeah. Summary.
Cranberry.
That's
I can see why they might want to read.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got.
and you know, the first not meeting, the contract.
I'll let you know as we go, you know, I have my red lines together and stuff I want to prioritize, and I can talk about that in executive session if you want now.